Less than 30% of the surface of this Earth is made up of land, and there's only so many forests we can plant. Fortunately, and very excitingly, there is a brand new, very cool movement to make use of that 70% of this planet made up of water, and it captures carbon too.
This movement wants to bring seagrass, the only flowering plant able to pollinate under the sea, back to our oceans. Due to pollution and damage from boats, 90% of the UK's seagrass meadows have been lost over the last century. But here at the Plymouth Sound National Marine Park, the Ocean Conservation Trust, led by Development Officer Mark Parry, is leading a huge planting project.
Seagrasses store carbon up to 35 times more efficiently than terrestrial forests. You could use 1 hectare of seagrass to the equivalency of up to 35 hectares of forest. And what we're trying to do is restore some of the lost seagrasses around Plymouth Sound.
Amazing.
The aim is to plant an incredible 8 hectares of seagrass, which, according to Mark's maths, could be the equivalent of nearly 280 hectares of forest. I want to explore this carbon capturing superpower a bit further. The National Marine Aquarium has a purpose-built seagrass laboratory where Esther Farron is able to show me exactly how seagrass can do this.
We're going to model the idea of this sediment running off into an area without seagrass and then an area with seagrass. And what we should see, hopefully, James, is that this sedimentation will form much faster in the presence of seagrass.
And that's that carbon capture that we're talking about?
Absolutely.
Cool.
And we're going to pour into the ocean at the same time.
Okay, ready, go. Okay.
Oh. So what we should be seeing is the leaves of the seagrass is causing that sediment to hit and fall directly to the sea floor.
Look how much of that's already sunk right to the bottom versus this one. We've got so many different layers of sediment. You can look at it, it's like suspended in the, like it's like stuck in like jelly almost.
Once it's sedimented to the sea floor, that lattice structure, as that rhizome develops over the top, is going to trap it in. It's to lock away that carbon for thousands of years.
These carbon capturing plants might have environmental superpowers, but they still need a hand growing. Thankfully, Esther has taken me to her seagrass nursery, where she's preparing thousands of seeds to put the turf back in the surf.
We can cultivate 25,000 plants in this lab.
Wow.
What we've got going on now is those 3.2 million seeds, and they're just ripening up. So you can probably see there's some that are much darker than others. And those darker seeds are those ripened, viable seeds.
And that's the one we want. So should we go ahead and actually do our own plant? That's what we've come here for today. I want
Absolutely, you can help us with this. In fact, we're always needing volunteers and try and get as much seed from the seed bucket into your bowl as possible. From that, we're going to take our sample of viable dark seed. So we've got purified sand.
And that's to help it stay to the bottom of the
Yeah, it
ocean.
gives it ballast and provides that environment for the root structures. You're going to want to add your sample of seeds. You don't need too many. There you go.
Feels like I'm planting like buried treasure. We kind of are in a way.
Time to throw this treasure overboard. I'm heading out to plant my very own seagrass.
In my hands right here, I've got the seeds of change that really could turn the tide in the fight against climate change.
This is our restoration site.
Right here, right below us.
Right below us. There are 17,000 these little bags. Now, these were deployed back in the spring, and we're seeing small seedlings growing from
I'm
them.
looking.
Unfortunately, because of poor visibility, we can't see them, but about 8 meters down, they are there. They're starting to break down. What they'll do is they'll mature over time. They'll start throwing runners out to the sides. Soon, and hopefully one day make this vast, luscious seagrass meadow with lots of life. By taking this bag and just gently dropping it in the sea, that's going to float down to the bottom, and that's going to work as a catalyst to start our plants. In there is the seed, the nutrients that they need, the compost, sediments, and all we're going to do is just drop it over the side. You'll see it disappear into the depths.
So is it like a technique, or am I just literally plopping?
Just gently drop it in, gently drop it into the sea.
Ready? Hey!
Well
My
done.
first seagrass.
Yes.
I made it.
Mark and his team first sowed seagrass seeds into these waters in April, and this footage was taken just 1 week after they were planted.
How do you feel about seagrass? What is the future for it? Are you optimistic?
Seagrass restoration and blue carbon in general can be a really vital combatant against some of the issues that we face.
Hopefully stuff like COP COP26 hopefully can start to give a voice to projects like this?
I think the COP's quite important with regards to our opportunities and our chances and the urgency about it. Looking at blue carbon habitats and blue carbon as a whole, it's got to be added to the mix.
If we can restore the UK's sea meadows to how they formerly were, it's still up to 11.5 million tonnes of carbon per year. That's 3% of our annual emissions in this country. And judging by what I've seen today with Mark and the team, the potential, the future for carbon capture, well, the grass is looking a lot greener.
So fascinating.
It really is, and it seems so simple as well to make such a big difference. And it's innovations like this that are being discussed at the Global Climate Summit in Glasgow throughout this week and next. And Gethin's at the heart of the action. Gethin, what's the latest?
Yeah, really interesting hearing James there talk about the seagrass and capturing carbon, which is exactly what we need to do if we want to bring those temperatures down.